Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah and I am the owner and artist behind the business called Hannah Banana Creations, where I take thrift flips, upcycled decor, and other vintage finds and make them blend all together to sell on my website. So let's go ahead and get started on today's projects. The first project will be these mismatched candlesticks. I thrifted these. Obviously, they still have these price tags on them. An easy way to get price tags off is by using a razor blade. If you are struggling to get your price tags off of your thrifted finds, you can also use a heat gun or a hair dryer to heat up the adhesive a little bit, and that'll make it easier to remove. One of the candlesticks did have a top that was a little bit damaged, so using some items that I already had in my craft stash, which was a jar lid, and some Gorilla Glue adhesive, I just attached that to the top to have a flat surface for a candle to sit on, and honestly, it fit perfectly. To make these thrift flips fit in with a Valentine's theme, I'm going to be painting them in all the fun and pretty colors, so I decided to paint these candlesticks in a dusty pink color. It's actually called Julia by Lilly Moon Paint, and it is a really gorgeous dusty pink. It's honestly one of my top favorite pink colors. I'm not a big fan of the color pink, but this one is really, really good. All of the paints and products I'm using for the thrift flips in today's video will be listed in the description below, so if you want to try any of these looks for yourself, you will know the exact products you will need and the step-by-step instructions. Now, these candlesticks are made out of a hard plastic resin. They honestly look like, some early 2000s decor. Don't come at me, but I did have to do 2 coats of paint on both of the candlesticks to get full coverage. Once my coats of paint were dry, I did seal the candlesticks with a clear wax. I am going to be adding some other decorative waxes to these candlesticks to help bring out all the fun details, so that is why I am starting with the clear wax as my base. And after I have the candlestick fully covered with wax, I just use a microfiber cloth to wipe off all the excess. Both of these candlesticks had some really fun and intricate details, and to bring that out, I am using some decorative waxes. After my clear wax was all buffed off with my microfiber cloth, I applied a dark wax. This will set into all the details, nooks and crannies of the candlesticks, kind of to look like shadowing. When you're using decorative waxes, keep that in mind of what would look good as your shadows and what would look good as your highlights. Typically, I like to use darker colors for my shadowing waxes and brighter colors for my highlights. When I work with black wax, I like to work in sections on my project just to ensure that I don't get too much black wax that dries on my project more than I would like before I can get a chance to wipe it off. So that is why I work in sections, and then once I have the amount of wax that I want, I just use my microfiber cloth again to wipe off the excess. After I had removed the excess black wax, I was ready to move on to my final decorative wax to accent my highlights, and that is this beautiful rose gold decorative wax from Redesign with Prima. If you want to try this wax or any of the other decorative waxes that they have available, they have many, many colors. You can check out my affiliate link down in the description. This is an all natural, non-toxic wax. You can use it indoors and even apply it with your fingers like I am here. It's really buttery smooth, and I'm just lightly going over all the highlights of the piece. So this will make all of the raised parts have a pink metallic look to it. And here is a look at how the final transformation turned out. I really love the pink metallic highlights on the pink paint color. I think they blend together and mesh so well, and the black wax just really adds that depth to the project that they really desperately needed. For my next project, I'll be taking an ordinary frame and turning it into some Valentine's themed wall art. This was a frame that I had started for another project but didn't finish. I have a really bad habit of doing that sometimes. But this was just an ordinary wood picture frame that I had thrifted. Honestly, the thrift stores are full of picture frames that you can make all kinds of wall art out of. I had previously attached some of these corner molds to the frame to give them a little bit more detail, and then did a textured black paint finish on top of that. I just did a pink dry brush paint job over the textured black to match the art I was going to be putting in the frame. I wanted to do a mixed media type of artwork inside this frame, so I took some decoupage paper that I had used for a small furniture project. I had a few bits left over and I just ripped that up so I could do a collage type background. Once I had all my pieces ripped up, I took some matte decoupage gel and applied that all over my background, and then applied the pieces one at a time. As I applied my pieces, I did do another coat of decoupage gel over each piece that I applied, just so that they would stay in place and to create a protective barrier between the artwork I was going to be putting on top. This is a great way to use up some scrap pieces of decoupage paper. I usually always have a little bit left over from various furniture projects, and I hate to throw them away because they're so pretty. So ripping them up and then creating a new collage background like this is a great way to use up those scraps. Once my decoupage gel was completely dry, I used this little hand sander to remove the excess decoupage paper. This is the easiest way to do it without ripping the other paper that is already on your project. The key to mixed media projects is doing lots of fun layers, so I decided to do a stenciled layer on top of the decoupage paper that I had already collaged on my background. This stencil is called Victorian Tiles, and it's by Finnabair, which you can find at my Redesign with Prima link in the description below. The key to stenciling is using a stiff bristled brush. Round brushes usually work best for that. And offloading the excess paint on your brush onto a paper towel or another surface before applying it to your stencil also really helps you get those crisp, clean stencil lines. Since I applied my artwork directly to the glass of the frame, I needed something else to support the back of it just to protect it, to make sure nothing would break it or anything like that. So I just took the piece of glass and traced it onto some cardboard so I could have some support on the back when I attached everything together. I just used some extra strength hot glue to attach the glass inside the frame and then permanently attach the cardboard to the back of that as well. Since this frame is going to be some Valentine's themed artwork, I'm going to be adding the word love to the inside of the frame. These are some scrapbooking letters. I think they're called eyelets. I'm not 100% positive, but they have these little pins on the back that I just snipped off with some wire cutters because I was going to be gluing them to my artwork inside my frame. Create a little space for the letters to go. I took this chipboard frame, again, just some leftover scrapbooking supplies that I had, and took this beautiful rose gold wax and just applied that like a paint all over the little chipboard frame. And this is the same wax that I used on the candlesticks earlier in the video. It's honestly one of my favorite colors of the waxes. I did need to attach a little piece of black paper to the back of this frame for the letters to set on. So using some tacky glue, I just went around the edge of the frame on the back and then applied my teeny tiny little piece of black scrapbooking paper to that and let everything fully dry. To add my little letters to the inside of this frame, I did have to use some needle nose pliers just because it was easier to get a grip on these tiny little letters. And then I just applied some tacky glue to the back of each one and glued them down to the paper. To add even more love themed stuff to this piece of artwork, I took this wood heart that I had in my craft stash. For some reason, I have a whole bunch of them, and painted it with some black acrylic paint. And then once that was dry, I again took my rose gold wax and applied it just like a paint because it is so buttery smooth, and gave a little bit of a metallic effect to the heart. I did this just by using a small artist brush. I did want to keep the dark layer underneath a little bit visible, so I just did a dry brush of the wax on top. I wanted to add a little bit more depth to the heart, so I took a stencil brush and just dabbled on some black acrylic paint around the edges just to give it a little bit more of an aged effect. To attach all my little pieces to the frame, I just used some Gorilla Glue Clear Grip and some hot glue. The Gorilla Glue Clear Grip is really one of my favorite adhesives to use. It's very strong. And then I also attached the little frame. I did put some pieces of twine on the ends just to give it a little bit more interest. Then to finish everything off, I took the rose gold wax once again and then just accented the highlights on the corner molds I had added previously. And here's how that little thrift store picture frame turned out. If you want to purchase this piece for yourself, it is available on my website. You can check out that link down in the description below. For my next project, I will be taking this wall art piece that I got on clearance at a craft store and transforming it into something Valentine's themed. So first things first, we got to cut off the tag, and then I also decided to remove the hanger because I was going to replace it with something else. I didn't like how this one hung up above the top of the frame. And then to give the frame an update, I'm using this really beautiful brushed champagne color from Redesign with Prima. And if you want to check out this paint for yourself, you can check out my affiliate link down in the description below. This metallic paint has very good coverage. I actually only needed to do one coat to get the frame completely covered, which is pretty rare actually with metallic paints. And there are several other color options available if you want to try them for yourself. Once the metallic paint on my frame was fully dry, I just took some black chalk paint and painted the inside of the frame where I was going to be putting my new artwork. I wanted to keep this piece more neutral so it could be used not only for Valentine's Day but also for year-round decor. To make this piece kind of Valentine's themed, I'm adding some more of these wood hearts that I had in my craft stash, and I was just going to leave them plain natural and then add this beautiful stamp on top. So this is another piece from Redesign with Prima. Their decor stamps are really fun to use. There's a big variety of them. I use this script stamp for a lot of projects. It makes a great background for all kinds of different art pieces. Stamping can be a little bit tricky. You do have to be patient with it. I recommend keeping at least one hand on the stamp at all times while applying pressure with your other hand, just kind of working your way around your piece. So stamping is a technique that does take a little bit of practice, but it is really fun once you get the hang of it. After I had all the little wooden hearts stamped, I attached them to the inside of the frame, again just using my Gorilla Glue clear grip. I cannot say enough how awesome this adhesive is. It really works very well. And then I use a little dab of hot glue as well to get an instant hold while I'm waiting for the Gorilla Glue to completely dry. I decided to seal this piece with clear wax since I was going to be adding some decorative waxes later on to enhance the details of the frame. And as always, I use a microfiber cloth to wipe off the excess of the wax. I really loved the intricate details in the edges of this frame, so I did use some black wax to try to enhance that a little bit. And then this will add that shadowing effect as well as a little bit of an aged look that I always try to go for on my flips. Waxes are always a great way to add more patina to any of your thrift flips. It's a great way to add some age and character to anything that is newly painted. And here's a look at this transformation. I really love how this turned out. I do think it would work for year-round decor. I think it's neutral enough to be used in maybe a little girl's room or something like that. It is available on my website if you're interested in owning it for yourself. For my next thrift flip, I'll be transforming this mass-produced decorative tray that I found at the thrift store for only 50 cents. I honestly see these at the thrift store a lot. They're often pretty easy to make over, and I find that they do sell pretty well when I take them to markets. So I try to grab them when I see them. For this one, I'm going to be adding some decoupage paper, but I do have to prime it first because it is a pretty dark color, and my decoupage paper is pretty light. So since it's really cold out right now, I can't spray this primer on, so I'm going to be brushing it on. After a couple layers of the primer, I will be ready to move on to my paint. After my primer was fully dry, I was ready to move on to my paint job. Since I was going to be adding some decoupage paper to the center of this piece, I did another layer of white in the center to give my decoupage paper a good base to stand out against. Usually the decoupage paper is a little bit transparent, so whatever color you put underneath will show through a little bit. And then I painted the edges in this gorgeous light peach color to match the colors that were in my decoupage paper. The color I'm using for this tray is called Peach Blossom by Lilly Moon Paint. If you ever have any questions about any of the paints or products I'm using on my thrift flips, be sure to leave them in the comments. I also keep a list of each product used on all of my thrift flips in the descriptions below. After my paint was completely dry, it was ready to apply my decoupage paper. This one is called Living Coral, and it's also from Redesign with Prima. So the way I measure it out is just lay it out in my tray first, and then just kind of fold it in the corners where it would meet that peach color. And then I just trim it up with some scissors, and I always make sure to keep my scraps so I can use them for other projects. So once I had this cut out, I just set the rest of it to the side. You can always use various bits and pieces of your decoupage paper for other projects, so be sure to keep that in mind. Once my image was cut out, I was ready to apply it to my tray. Using some matte decoupage gel, I first apply a kind of a thick layer to the base of my tray. Once I have that applied all over the bottom of the tray, while it is still wet, I applied my decoupage paper. I start from the middle and work my way out to help decrease the amount of bubbles that might appear in my paper. I'm also using a tool from Redesign with Prima. It's usually used for the H2O transfers, but it works really well for decoupage paper. You can also use some plastic wrap to try to smooth out any bubbles that may appear under your decoupage paper. Once I had everything smoothed out, I just sealed the top with another layer of decoupage gel. This does brush on white, but it dries clear, so no worries about any kind of streaks being left behind. And here's a look at how this piece turned out. This was a really quick and simple flip. I like that this decoupage paper is really girly and could be great for Valentine's Day, but this could also be a piece used for someone's year-round decor as well. For my final thrift flip, I'll be taking this wooden box and making it into a cute little decorative riser. Since this is made out of oak, which is a pretty notorious wood for bleed through, I did prime it with a stain blocking primer, and then I used the color Julia, which was the same color I used on the candlesticks previously in this video. It is from Lilly Moon Paint. It took a couple of coats of paint for full coverage on this piece. I made sure to also paint the bottom of it since I was going to be putting little feet on it to make it into a riser. I wanted to add some cute details to the sides of this box, so I took a border stamp from the Floral Borders stamp set from Redesign with Prima and some white Decor ink and just applied this pattern to every side of the box, keeping it consistent throughout, trying to keep it in line as much as possible. All the stamps do come with this grid sheet that I'm using here. The grid sheet is usually a 12 by 12 size, but I did cut it down for this stamp because it is a little bit of an awkward shape, and I find that the longer, skinnier stamps are easier to handle with a grid sheet that's cut down a little bit. When I apply my stamp, I always try to keep one hand steady on the stamp itself while I apply pressure with my other hand. This will prevent your image from becoming blurry once you remove your stamp. To add a little bit of height to this piece, I added these wood rounds on the bottom. They were flat on one edge, so I'm guessing maybe they were meant for finials or something. I don't know, they were in my craft stash and they make the perfect little feet for this riser. To attach them to the bottom of this box, I just used some Gorilla Glue clear grip and then did a dab of hot glue so it would instantly hold while I was still working on this piece. And after I had all the feet attached, I decided this needed one last little finishing touch, so again I took my Rose Gold wax and just applied that to the rim of the box, giving it just a little bit of extra sparkle. Just keep in mind whenever you're using waxes that it does take a little bit of extra time to cure. I always give it at least 24 hours before I list it on my website or display it in my home. And here's a look at how this transformation turned out. I think it turned out so cute. Be sure to keep your eye out for wooden boxes at the thrift store because they make the best transformations and thrift flips. Thank you guys for tuning into today's video. I hope you liked all these Valentine's inspired thrift flips. And be sure to check out my website in the description below if you want to own any of these creations for yourself. Be sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more fun DIYs and thrift flips.